So guys, took a while, but we got there in the end today.
It's a good win. There was a lot of chances for us to try and score. Pitch definitely not helping with it today. I'll say it. Get it out of the way early. Bobbles everywhere. It was difficult, but there was a flat period, I guess. But other than that, it only ever looked like we were going to win, and it was a case of when we were going to score and how many we could get.
Because I can't even remember them having a shot on target.
They had, ironically, the one was our second corner. Billy's cleared it off the line, and run down the other end, got the ball back and put it in the back of the net.
Actually, that was the thing. That was very nearly another goal where it was ball crossed over the back post. But at least you got somebody in the back post this time, because the last two goals were considered with nobody there. But then for him to then go down the other end and score, that's just what you want.
That I guess comes from taking on instruction, really, because our set pieces are quite clear. They're up on the boards. We go through them. Everyone should know their roles, and we do have someone on the back post at the time. So it's, I guess it's people taking it on board a little bit more maybe today.
We did highlight in the change room before the game. It's just important that we did all the basics well, and we made sure that we didn't give them anything, because the last thing you want to do is give them a cause to then hold on to. And thankfully, the clean sheet, and as you've just highlighted, things like doing the basic jobs, like where you need to be on set pieces, get all that right, and then hopefully the quality will come through in the end.
Yeah, because that's what we were saying on the stands. It's like you weren't offering much, and it was an easy game for us. But at 0-0, you're still thinking there's still a chance they nick one because somebody slips or does whatever.
Do you know what? This is literally what we said at half time. We noticed a flat period, and there was always that opportunity they could break and get something. And I've sort of said to you, it's almost. I don't want to sound disrespectful. It's not right to say it, but we said it's almost too easy for us on the ball in terms of getting it, and all it takes is for them to clear one, a slip or a bobble or something like that, which is very, very possible.
Well,
and they could have got one on a break.
We had one with Joffrey, didn't we?
Yeah.
That happens again.
So we just sort of said, look, just get everything right, bring the intensity, bring the energy up a little bit. You have to go a bit more cutthroat and keep them on the back foot to not allow them to come out and have any space to even clear. So we tried to go a little bit higher with every bit of defending.
Yeah, that's what it was. It seemed like a different game plan. It seemed to be you were getting the ball forward quickly. And using the likes of Festos and Jordan.
We've got within our way of how we play, we've got like a part on the pitch, I guess, without trying to give too much away, where we feel we can break lines with using wide players and a bit more direct play, and they were allowing us to get the ball into that area without being too solid as a backline and being compact. We then noticed we could almost go 2v1 over on the far side with their left back, who was quite physical but almost wanted to use his physicality without really thinking about what he's doing with the ball. So we either got in from the pass or got in from stealing it off him, which kind of worked for a long period as well.
Yeah, because we couldn't work out. You seem to have changed the formation as well. And was it more that you had two? We couldn't quite work out whether you had two up front or it was three. It just seemed to be interchanging.
Yeah. Well, we tried to
Can't
utilise
tell you
the
that.
players we had.
Can't tell you that. Well, top secret information.
No, we just tried to utilise the players that we had with their strengths, really. On one side was stronger in attacking than the other, where we had a bit more defensively.
It was. Like you say, you changed the formation, but it worked. The way we couldn't work out what you were doing, so it worked, obviously.
We didn't have a clue either.
We just threw some names up and went, "You go do something, please."
What we did know, again, and we said we wanted to mention it, but with the conditions how they are, plus we knew we were playing against a side who couldn't have been particularly well drilled, and I don't mean that disrespectfully at all, but they haven't been together that long because they've obviously had quite a big transition. So we knew if we were probably to try and ask them a few more questions earlier, a bit more directly maybe, it would possibly be the way to play it, and probably worked.
Yeah, and it did. Now then, both goals came from that.
It did.
I mean, Festos, the ball from Connor, then the run down for Festos and the cross. The whole thing was a really good goal. And then the second goal with Ivesy, everything shoot, and he passed to Trev, and that's that's really good of him.
The vision that that boy possesses is unreal, isn't it?
Unbelievable, what a player.
Yeah. No, it's just. Do you know what, he was getting fat. Luca, bless him, because obviously Luca Bradley was playing for them, who's one of our own. But he had hold of Ivessy's shirt from the halfway line.
Yeah.
But that's like trying to hold a ball back, quite well. And fair play to Ivesy. Trev owes him a drink for that, really, doesn't he?
He does, because everybody's going, shoot, get your goal, shoot. and he didn't. And I thought that was just great of him.
That's composure and it's maturity as well, isn't it? Because Trev didn't do it in return earlier.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
you ain't going to get a return favour. He done a very similar one for Ivesy once before, didn't he? Do you remember? Down the far end earlier in the season. So I'll go with that. Yeah, but it's a win, isn't it, Will? It's a win. It's a few goals. It's a bit nervy at 1-0. Would have been nice if we could have killed it a bit earlier, but you got no right to win anything. And ultimately 3-0. Probably the minimum reflection of the game, isn't it? We're all a bit nervy. We might have cocked it up, we might have let one in, but let's be honest, Jacob hasn't really had to make a save.
I think I've said to you, I think everyone's a bit frustrated because really, it wasn't a bad performance. It was a good performance, but it was like it could have been better. We could have had more.
Yeah.
It was just one of those days when it just wouldn't fall.
It's not even that it wouldn't fall. If you walk across that pitch, the bobbles, you can see it. Frank dribbling the ball and it's bouncing up at his hand. Festos and Jordan have both gone through, and the ball's bobbled up at them as they've gone to pull the trigger.
Remember Jordan's one?
Yeah.
That second half going down here was
gone
through.
And it's just come up and.
Well, you said Frankie's handball. The ball hadn't got to him and it flicks up right up his hand.
And when it's like that, it's really hard to put the ball in the back of the net. You're going through, you've lined yourself up, your foot's planted, you're about mid-swing, and then it just hits a bobble, and it's all of a sudden it's completely different.
Yeah, and I think that sort of showed. I think the boys were just getting, like I say, it was a bit flat part of the second half where it was just like, but they rallied towards the end. I guess they kept going at least.
Yeah. I think once we get the second goal, get a bit. But can't work with these amateurs. Well, once the second one goes in, it does feel like the pressure's lifted a little bit, doesn't it?
It did. It changed them as well.
It's a weight on our shoulders. Let's be honest. We know, as the loyal fan base are pointing out, we knew we had to win that game, and we were making a bit hard work of it. Pressure weighs you down a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's sort of, you could feel that almost in the first half a little bit, where we were almost trying too hard sometimes.
Yeah, I think
you're right.
Our preferred style of play and everything that we kind of work towards, we can't do on it. So we're having to figure out different ways and alternative ways. We've made some changes today. Tommy coming back and then banging his head and makes a change. Walder's back in after a few games out. It's going to be a little bit match rusty.
Yeah. So JP in the back, for instance, all a bit different.
Finding your feet a little bit, isn't it? And maybe that was it.
We definitely benefited from Walder because it said like the rest of the midfield could go and attack again. In the last two games, he haven't been able to go forward. Cut the likes of Connor and Billy. Whereas with Walder just sat there, they've got the confidence to go.
It's organisation off the ball. It's physicality. It's demand. If anyone misses it, like there was one Festos instead of swinging, he's tried to cut it onto his right, and he's not having it. He's like, come on, it's better than that. Put it in the back of the net. And there's a bit of demand, but with appropriate how he says it and delivers it to them. And they're like, yeah, fair point next time. So I think when you've got that, it's quite an underestimated thing, really, isn't it?
It's leadership, isn't it?
When you've got that, it makes a big difference because it might be next time Festus I might say he'll shoot, and little things like that make a big difference. It brings confidence, but it brings a bit of demand and expectation that you're not going to get away with it, but I'm not going to kill your confidence at the same time.
Yeah, it's like Festus' goal. Keeper saved it at first, and then he carried on and he got it still, which could have been, if we just left that and gone,
yeah, a bit of perseverance and get your rewards sometimes, don't you? I remember like Wolves, he's watch out, incoming. He was with us at Upfield and we got a 7-day approach coming for him from Hastings. Which obviously, and the Hastings manager actually said, like leaders are like rocking all shit. You just don't get many people that can have that impact on a team, and it is massive. Pringy, I thought had a good game today. Yeah, he's asked me to say that. But Jacob, well done, son. The goalkeeper's done all right again.
I thought both midfielders, him and Billy, but again, they played well because Walder lets them. Yeah. That's how it felt like.
Yeah, it's just it's organised. Like we said earlier, it's knowing the players' qualities and being able to put them into the right areas and positions and giving licence because they've got the duties that they may be taken on previously that aren't their strengths and now relieved. And someone like Walder is exactly that. He's going, go on then boys, you go do that and I'm gonna do what I do.
No, I know we survived Tommy going off because that could have been a bit of a mess as well, really.
Yeah. Disappointing for us because we've been looking forward to having him back. The 2 games obviously I'm not saying solely down to him not being there, but it doesn't help when someone like Tom's not in your defensive unit. So to only kind of really last, what was it, 15 minutes? It felt like.
Something like that. Won't
That's disappointing for us. You know, we're just hoping he's going to get that assessed. It was a bit of a precaution on our behalf, so it might not be as bad.
When it's head, you don't. There's no point.
I guess we were all saying, oh great, that's the third match in the trot. So we've had like Ricardo, then we had Joffy, and this time it's going to be Tommy. Straight out and think, but do you think he might be alright for Monday? Hopefully?
This is my Festos song. This is my Festos song.
We'll look into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that the players stay first. But,
You boys sing it, I'll join in.
Yeah, because it's going to be a much tougher game on Monday, I would have thought.
Yeah, I picked up a good win today. So, we won't take it lightly.
But yeah, I mean, you'll have to up it again, I think, against Fisher.
Definitely, had a good win.
But that's going to be tough.
Beat Whitstable today.
Yeah, 2-1. Wins bring confidence, don't they? And that goes into its game. We're on a 3G, so that'll help us out. It's not going to exactly damage our...
We've lost our main excuse, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, but no, look, they're a good side. They've got a lot of threats. But we had a good win against them, and we'll go the same way again, hopefully this time.
Yeah, I thought we had a comfortable good win against them last time, so
we won't expect
fingers crossed. Because hopefully, well, like I say, hopefully Tommy's all right. But even if he's not, I think we proved today, whoever we have in at the back, it's fairly solid.
Probably wouldn't say that last 2 games, but
no,
we've said all season long, we've got options and variety, but it needs to get to a point where we're able to put out a stronger side. If you were to go through our fixtures, and this isn't being an excuse, if you were to go through our fixtures, there's not many games I'll say we've actually had our strongest side out. We've not been able to field them for suspensions, injuries, illnesses, all that type of stuff. Look, that's the same for everyone, but we're getting towards that point now where we've got our strongest players available. There's some difficult decisions and discussions to have. And we're going to be asking a lot of the boys to kind of take it on the chin a little bit. But
I think Lucas, the proof of that, he was getting on the bench before. Now you've got to get some game time.
And it's
that shows us.
I was pleased to see him come on. It was a bit of a shame at the start. I thought he'd done well when he come on. And that's what we want to try and do. You know, Jamie's done a very good job with the under-23s. It's been a tough season for him for game time, but he's got some very good players in there. And what we're looking to do is try and get them some game time. How can we work with them to get them to this level? Because the young players he's got that are local, they'll be a massive benefit to the club in a few years' time.
Well, the one proof to me is Jacob Ivesy. He went away to get some time. He's come back. He's happened to sit on the bench and come up and do it. And he's taken drain. He's cock a hoop. He could have scored. He didn't. And he just loves being here. And he's come through the youth system, you know.
His attitude, you can't fault. He's probably got the best attitude and commitment here. I'd probably say very much he's up there.
He's up there. Yeah, he's up there.
But I guess it's easy. The win also lifts the spirit for Monday as well. It's a lot easier now.
Pitch might not be good, but the beer is.
Yeah. But you can see Festos and Jacob were saying, you know, going into Monday they feel a lot better now.
Good, I hope so.
You know,
it just lifts a little bit of pressure, doesn't it? Because you know, when you're not winning, you start questioning yourself. You know, we start questioning our decisions. Players on the pitch start questioning their decisions. People that aren't in the team start questioning you. You know, it just creates a little bit of instability that everyone could do without. And then you win, relatively convincing. Let's not get the flags out because they're probably a side, unfortunately for them, is that them gone? Good has gone, so you know, sad because they're nice lads and that. But from our point of view, sets us up now, and we know we can beat Fisher. We've got no divine right to beat them. They're a very good side. AJ puts together a good side. We've got a cup final as well, haven't they? Yeah. So we've got no divine right, but we at least can go there confident now that we've kind of just shaken it up a bit.
well, hopefully, like I say, we just take the result and the play towards the end. I thought was quite good. If we can start how we finish this
when
game.
When they relax and things are going right for them, that's when. But that's confidence, isn't it? And when it's not going right, that's when you focus on the negatives, and then you're more likely to perform the negatives.
Well, that's like we were saying. Our midfield is probably the strongest midfield we've had we can remember. If you know the 4 players, we've got 4 or 5 players that can play in there, and it's just when we get the front and the back of each box to click, then we play really well. And it's just we've never managed to get all 3 clicking quite right.
No. Again, that comes down to the availability, isn't it? Injury, illness, suspension. Can't be helped.
But again, you get the feeling now after today that Monday, it could quite easily click right now. It's a bit more positive.
I hope so, because it's a long way to go on your bank holiday Monday. You want to put in a good performance. I've already heard there's a few of the fans going to be there. Hopefully you guys can turn out in force, and hopefully at the very least we can put in a bit of a shift that people were proud of.
I think everybody's excited now to be going. You know, everybody's talking to who's going to train, who's going to drive. You know, so it's everybody's looking forward to it.
Good day out.
Yeah, it always
Only
is.
if you win.
Yeah. Oh, fingers crossed then.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Great. Cheers, guys.
Up the world.